Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the QBL Game 2 Grand Final in the women's competition. I'm so sorry about the couple of technical difficulties that we had there, but we're with you here now. We're around about 2 minutes into the first quarter, and nice and early on, the Brisbane Spartans are taking a lead with 9-2, just as they take a timeout for Mackay. Gives me a chance to introduce Dan George joining me in the commentary box. My name is Regan Baker. Dan, what an amazing game we're set up here for tonight.
Well, Brisbane came out, I know we missed it on the video, but executed really well the first couple of possessions. Ran a set to get Kaylani Purcell a layup. She converted with an end one. And then down the other end, Mackay running really good quality offense as well, but like, not to be critical, there's a whole lot of contact with Mackay. Nadine Payne's done an amazing job of fighting through that and got herself a bucket. Brisbane have picked up a couple of cheaper fouls on the other end, so hopefully Mackay don't get too frustrated with that, because the crowd tonight is pretty vocal and they're obviously looking forward to their Spartans winning what would be a 5th consecutive QBL championship. If you take out the years they went to the Siebel, they won 2 Siebel titles as well, but as QBL participants, this will be their 5th in a row, which is amazing, and the home crowd's ready to celebrate that. But really good start for the Spartans, opposite of last night, but Mackay's quality, and I'm sure that they'll recompose themselves and just keep fighting away. And 7 points is not a big lead at all, so I'm sure they're not too worried.
No, well, absolutely not. Not especially when we take into consideration Mackay came out blazing in last night's game, and Spartans managed to fight their way back into the lead. So I don't think 7 points down early on will unsettle Mackay in any way, shape or form. Just got to find that little bit of composure and get themselves to the inside to get the easy buckets. And just one last time as well, guys, very sorry about the technical difficulties at the start. This is the new stream and everything's up and running now. If you're able to share it around, we'll get everyone back on board again. But Dan, as we said, it's going to be an amazing game. 2 points the difference last night between these two teams. And we did have a chat to both captains before the game as well. And Gillian Horton, the captain for Mackay, is very confident that they'll be able to make the adjustments needed to get themselves into the grand final game 3 tomorrow. So another opportunity now for the Brisbane Spartans to get a little bit further in the lead. Nice inside pass there as Praran goes up and gets the easy bucket on the inside. Maddie Allen, amazing assist with a beautiful look down the centre. Down the other end, Maddie Allen picking up a foul as well. Amazing assist on one end, foul on the other. And she'll send Pavast to the line for 2.
I was walking out of the stadium last night at the same time that Mackay assistant coach was walking out. And he kind of said, see you tomorrow night, so I assume he knows we're on the call. And I said to him, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow night. I think the pace of the game really suited you tonight, scoring in the 70s. And he looked at me like I was completely drunk. So 11 points in the first 3 minutes is probably too much for Mackay to give up. I still think, like we said last night, they need to slow this down and grind it out. But, I mean, back in the action, Michaela Cox was unbelievably good last night and continues over, knocking down a 3 here for Mackay.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, Mackay just needs to play their own game and play a slow game as well. The fast-paced action definitely does suit the Brisbane Spartans. They played 8 deep last night with amazing performance coming from every player, whereas Mackay, they've kind of got their starting 5. There were a couple of substitutes from the bench, but realistically, all the performance does come out of those big starting 5. So a slower game works in their favour, so they don't get worn out too much, as Mackay nearly turns it over. Recovers with just under 14 seconds on the shot clock, but Purcell gets the big block and the turnover as well. Maddie Allen kicks out. There's 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Big contact on the inside. Maddie Allen with the putback for 2. Big contact there. But Karyadiana just rubs it off and gets back up and starts playing defense. Great to see. Horton goes up for a 3. That's no good. Parham pulling down the rebound for the Spartans. Karyatiana with another 3-point jumper, and that one is nothing but net. And almost a little bit of trouble for Mackay as Nadine Payne steps over the line on the passing. They're going to maintain possession, though.
I thought in the pre-game, too, that Brisbane, they are deeper than Mackay. Mackay obviously fought and had a chance to win it last night, a couple of chances to win it. I wouldn't be surprised if Brisbane pick up full court, really put Michaela Cox especially under pressure, and just as a way to try and speed this game up and also to wear Mackay out. Second night in 2 days is always tough. And with so much on the line tonight, we'll see if they can make that adjustment and play the game at their pace. Time will tell. But it's good to see Mackay too, running through their sets, executing well. And if they can take the crowd out of it early, that would obviously be massive for them.
Yeah, definitely so. And as we see a free throw attempt there, which goes in, Mackay, they really do need to just get those set plays working for them, because that's going to be their biggest advantage, is having those nice set structured plays. Because as we said, you know, Spartans is such a deep team. And I think when I was looking at the stats, I think the most minutes played, by one player was about 30. And 3 or 4 players from the bench coming in, playing some good minutes as well. Looking at Mackay, there was only a couple of substitutes. They really do need to play that slow game for the starting 5.
And that's okay. In the playoffs, usually most coaches shorten their rotation anyway. So if you've got 7, maybe 8, but going 7 deep, I think a lot of coaches in the finals would be comfortable with that. So I'm sure they're not too worried, but they still, I think, need to dictate the pace, because getting up and down with the Spartans is not something that they're going to want to do, I wouldn't think.
So 16-9 the lead here. Spartans still finding themselves a 7-point lead. Just under 15 seconds left on the shot clock as Purcell drives strong to the left-hand side. Kicks out. Nice little jump shot to Nat Taylor. Can't quite convert, but Mackay steps out of bounds and turns it over.
Offensive rebounding pressure. Barry Curry in the game for the first time tonight. Matty Allen takes a break.
So we see Captain Carly Curry is subbing in for the first time for the Brisbane Spartans. Unusual to see a captain coming in off the bench, but it does just go to show how much depth the Spartans really do have. Left-hand hook from Kariatiana, no good. Mackay coming down with the out-of-bounds possession. Nadine Payne kicks out. Nice strong drive inside for Palvas. Just can't quite handle it and turns it over. Asking if it's bounced off a Spartans player by the looks of it, but it will remain with the Spartans.
Well, it was great hands from Arjapanam, getting in, swiping it away, and just some early frustration too from Mackay. They've just got to block out the officials. I think they feel like they've missed a couple of calls. As Arja makes a nice move, just can't knock it down, but there's definitely been some contact that could have been called in Mackay's favour, but it hasn't been there, and you just have to try and not let that bother you too much.
Inside, outside play again for Mackay. Nadine Payne fighting for the rebound, can't quite get her hands on it. Karatiana now for the Spartans, looks to go inside, pass is no good into Nat Taylor. Kalani Purcell fake on the 3, nice move, dishes out. 3-point attempt, no good for Karatiana. Mackay with a now strong inside drive from Michaela Cox, blocked again by Kalani Purcell. Horton now, big left-hand drive, kicks it up, and she'll get the foul from Karatiana as well.
That foul is called on Ashley Karatiana. That's her first personal, 14 foul. Jill Horton will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Horton on the line for 2 for Mackay. Subs in for Spartans as well, so Karatiana checking out. Odette Isaac checking in. First is good. Second good as well. Mackay on their way back. They'll be down by 5. Kalani Purcell looks to go left, pull up jump shot, bounces off the front of the rim. Horton for Mackay coming down with the rebound. Now, Dan, we didn't get to talk a lot about it before the game, obviously with those issues that we were having. But if you're Mackay, you're coming into game 2, you're 1 down in the series. It's make or break tonight. What do you think Mackay is going to need to do other than that slow game in order to get themselves into a Game 3 tomorrow.
Well, they played each other in June, and Mackay lost by 3 in Mackay. And then they obviously played last night, and Mackay lost by 2, with 2 really good looks at the end where they could have got a win. So I feel like if I was Mackay, they would have a belief that they're right there with the Spartans team. The Spartans are undefeated and play a great style of hoops, which has been really good to watch. Last night's game was awesome, but Mackay's obviously been close on both occasions. So there's not too much you change. You make a few small adjustments, but I just think you just have to, again, like we said yesterday, just trust your system. It's this stage in the year, you've made it to a grand final. You just got to go out and play. But finals is all about matchups, and you can see Brisbane trying to exploit that. I mean, they've run, lucky not to turn it over from Mackay there. And they ran Kaylani Purcell with an ISO at the high post a couple of possessions ago. They seem to be running basketball with a lot of structure tonight, their offense. And I think that's the key for Mackay, like they do there. Go to Nadine, attack the hoop, draw a foul. That's what they need to do more and more of. Beck Stevens wants to travel. I'm not sure about it, but looked like a pretty good move to me. But Mackay has to stick with their structures and not let the fact that they're 1-0 down, or the fact there's a big crowd here, or the fact that they might not get many calls. You can't let that bother you too much. They've just got to stick with their system and trust each other, which I'm sure they will.
Yeah, and speaking of the big crowd as well, I know the Spartans, they were saying last night they had 560, which is the biggest crowd they've had. There's a lot more than that here tonight, so it really is an amazing crowd for what may be the last game in the grand final series. But Nadine Payne putting away both free throws, saying not tonight. But I think you're exactly right as well, though, Dan. Realistically, you know, Nadine Payne, she needs to get a lot more touches tonight than what she did last night if Mackay is going to have a chance. I don't think she took anywhere near enough shots compared to what she should have. She was only 4 from 13 from the field. And when you've got NBL talent on your floor, I feel like she needed more shots, especially early in the first half. I think it was in about the third quarter we were saying she's only taken 4 or 5 shots, which is nowhere near enough for someone with as much talent as Payne.
Well, she was 2 of 6 at the half from memory. And that's one of the adjustments they would make. That Mackay would recognise that, and they've gone to her early to make sure she does get good looks.
As Michaela Cox drives left, step back jumper, just bounces out, but strong rebound on the inside for Jackie Zelenka with the putback for 2. She'll give Mackay the lead by 1. I think one thing to note tonight as well is it does appear as though it might be a much higher scoring game than last night. It was quite low, but 16-17 already. It's a much better scoreline than what we had. Both teams going to the bucket a lot more aggressively to start out with than what it was in game 1. Nice out-of-bounds play there, finding Michaela Cox on the inside for the easy bucket.
Yeah, that's a bad miss defensively too.
Yeah, you can't let too many of those go by if you're the Spartans. You've got to match up a lot harder on those inside passages of play, because that was way too easy.
I don't know if you could see on the video, but that was a bank shot from the corner. I don't know how that went down, but big bucket for Brisbane.
Jackie Zelenka, another free throw from the free throw arm. Just under a minute to go. Now up by 3 is Mackay. Odette Isaac, top of the three-point line. She goes left. Strong defense from Mackay. Doesn't get her inside. Under 10 on the shot.
It's a good no call. That's really good officiating. And it should give Mackay 2 possessions to close the quarter.
Nice shot there from Willis. .12 seconds to go on the shot. Isaac for the long 3. That bounces out. Zelenka with the board. 6 seconds. Mackay needing to get down the court for the final shot. It's Michaela Cox. Strong drive on the inside. And put back. Putback, they're going to count. Nadine Payne with
possession.
the putback.
I thought Michaela Cox got fouled as well, but didn't call it. Gives Nadine Payne a chance, which is a better outcome for Mackay for 3 points. But more importantly, Kaylani Purcell's shaken up. But tough lady, I'm sure she'll be okay.
Yeah, as we just go to the video umpire, just to check with the score bench as to whether that shot did come off before the final siren sounded. But yeah, I think I agree. There was a lot of contact on Michaela Cox's drive as well. But
definitely, we're in Brisbane. That has to count. Oh, that's a bad call, man. That's home court advantage right there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Something we'll have to watch back after the game ourselves, Dan, to see where the clock was at. It definitely looked good from our perspective, but it is very hard to see the clock and the fingertips. But they are going to wave it away. So no bucket there for Mackay. And I'm not sure who the foul was going to be called on either from Spartans, but they got away with a free one there as well. So that is quarter time. So we're just going to have a quick break. We'll be back with you with some stats very, very shortly. So stick around with us. We'll be back soon with more live QBL Grand Final action from Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. And welcome back for the second quarter of the Women's QBL Game 2 Grand Final. It is 23-18. Mackay Meteorettes finding themselves with a 3-point lead early on, almost replicating the situation last night as well. So Spartans with a little bit of a catch-up to do, but I don't think they're going to be too rattled by that 5-point deficit.
Meteorettes win means we go to Game 3 tomorrow at 1 p.m. Mackay ball from the sideline.
So Mackay is going to start things off for the game as well, and I think coach from Mackay, I think he was hoping that we had the video replay, but unfortunately, Carl, we do not have live video replay for that last shot. Definitely had to be close, and we'll check it out again soon. Straight off the bat, Jackie Zelenka, huge three-point shot for Mackay, extending the lead even further. It is 26-18. Spartans now need to catch up. 8 points the deficit. Inside going strong. Beck's shot no good. Kicks out though after the offensive rebound as Parham goes up. Her shot also just a little bit too strong. Beck Haynes with the deflection. So 12 seconds on the shot clock. Mackay are going to need to get to work to get the ball on the inside. Just under 10 now on the shot. Nadine Payne hands off for Palvast. 4 seconds needing to go to work. Palvast spins and shoots. Strong defensive board there for Beck Haynes as well. Spartans with it now, running down the floor. Kick out as Kariatiana takes a long three. That bounces out, but Parham with the rebound and the putback for 2. She takes the Spartans to 20, down by 6. Nadine Payne almost gets the illegal screen on that one, just stepping to the side, but they keep playing. We're under 10 on the shot clock again as Nadine Payne, three-point attempt back off the backboard. I think it's been a long time in the QBL since I've seen a three-point shot banked for 3 from the top. Nonetheless, it still counts. 9-point lead for Mackay. Kalani Purcell goes to work down on the inside, spins left, flip shot no good, and they'll maintain with 14 seconds back on the shot clock. Kariatiana goes inside, kicks out to the wide 3. That's no good for Nat Taylor. Jackie Zelenka now for Mackay. Both teams, very different game of ball tonight compared to what we saw last night. Mackay was very run and gun straight out of the bat and played a very, very physical, very fast game early on, but they're playing things a little bit slower here tonight as 3 players crash to the ground. Nat Taylor somehow coming down with it and making the bucket as well. Turnover straight away. Kariatiana with the steal. Beck Haynes on the inside for the 2 and the and 1 from Nadine Payne. And she is fuming as well. A couple of quick unlucky passages of play there for Mackay with the potential missed foul opportunity and the turnover. Nadine Payne clearly a little bit agitated as well. That's really getting to her, those couple of quick turnovers and the potential missed foul as well, giving the Spartans a 4-point turnaround. So 5 points now, the lead for Mackay.
I think a bit of luck is always involved. I mean, a couple of possessions ago, Nadine Payne, oh, that's a terrible call. Nadine Payne banked a 3, so it evens out, but if she was frustrated before, she will be incredibly frustrated now. That's, this lady is quick on the whistle, and for a final, just let the girls play.
Especially in a situation like that as well, where you've got one of your star players for the Mackay Meteorettes now on 2 fouls and getting subbed out of the game as well. I mean, for us as referees, the big thing is always, is there an advantage or a disadvantage? And you have to let the girls decide the outcome.
Well, there's a lot of contact that hasn't been called. So if you're going to call that, there's going to be a lot of fouls called tonight. I just want consistency as a player, and
especially when you have a situation where 3 players hit the deck as well, and then there's a legal screen off the ball. No one hits the deck. No one's really agitated by it, and it gets called as well. I mean, it's got to be frustrating for Mackay. They now find themselves only up by 3. Makes it very, very hard. But nonetheless, they just need to keep themselves composed. Nadine Payne, she'll take a little bit of a rest now and hopefully come out on the floor fired up and ready to really take it at the Spartans. As Kariatiana makes the inside bucket as well, so she draws the lead back down to only 1 for Mackay. Their biggest lead, 9 in the quarter, now down to only 1. Mackay just need to find some composure as Maddie Allen comes out on the block train again. That's a tough passage of play for Mackay as well. The block from Maddie Allen, and then turning around and Tammy Willie pulling the foul as well. So Spartans early on in the first already finding themselves in a foul count of 3-0. They'll need to just adjust so they don't find themselves in foul trouble again as Parham inside with a nice little inside play. They take the lead again.
It's funny, Rob Scheibner has been coaching for a long time, and I mean the last Brisbane Capitals men's championship was won by him in 2002, a long time ago. And he's been running the same offense, and it amazes me that they're still getting such great quality looks, but it's such a good system. But Arja is just running offense, looking at reads, and man, they're getting way too many layups for Mackay to allow. There's another one. At the moment, Mackay's working so hard to get shots, whereas Brisbane are getting layups or shots at the rim. So it's a really dangerous sign for Mackay. They need to figure out defensively what they're going to do here. Maybe go to a zone. Just give it a different look and hope that Brisbane don't shoot well. Because at the moment, this man defense is getting shredded.
Yeah, they almost need a timeout just to recompose themselves and actually sort out a new game plan. Because I feel the same way. The man-on-man defense just isn't working for them at the moment. They've lost a 9-point lead and are now down by 4. So maybe a zone will shake things up a little bit, put the Spartans a little bit, off balance with a change of D. But they need to slow down their offense as well. Jackie Zelenka with the left-hand layup from the right-hand side. Kalani Purcell goes on the inside, just can't quite get her handles on it. I really do think that's what needed though, Dan. I think Mackay just needs to take a timeout and they just need to settle things down. They've still got one on the board, but they need to come up with a new defensive strategy because at the moment, the Spartans are just walking all over them offensively.
Out of bounds. Spartans ball.
I mean, that was a bit of a tough offensive move there from Mackay as well. I know they're asking for the foul, but that one I probably agree with. If you're going to drive baseline, you've got to drive baseline with a purpose and know when to pull back and dish it around. Nat Taylor with the inside layup getting blocked. They're going to resettle things down. But Mackay is rattled at the moment, Dan, and I think they need to make changes both offensively and defensively if they're going to get themselves back in this game.
In saying that, it's a 4-point game, and they would have expected Brisbane to make runs, and they would expect as well that they'll make runs, and at the end of the game with 5 minutes left, it'll be a 1 or 2 possession contest, and that's what they're expecting, I would think. So this won't bother them too much. They've just got to stay the course. Let's see what they run here.
Yeah, I want to see Mackay play the same way they played in that first quarter. It's been a very, very different, much more rushed offense in particular. Jackie Zelenka again on the inside, just not quite getting to town. But they played a very composed first quarter, and it's just been a very different game. A couple of quick fouls going against them as we see Coach Zenke again a little bit upset with the way the whistle's been blown. But I think they just need to just maintain that composure and just play the game of ball that they played in the first quarter.
Foul call on number 14, Jackie Zelenka.
And they are going to go to the bench for a timeout. So we're going to take a quick break as well. But we'll be back with you shortly for more live QBL Grand Final action presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. And we're back with you from Roland Cowan Stadium in Carina, presenting the QBL Women's Grand Final Game 2. It is 33-31. The Brisbane Spartans finding their way back into the lead halfway through the second quarter. Mackay Meteorettes just getting a little bit frustrated, find themselves on a 5-0 foul count, 4 minutes to go.
And we'll see, what did they discuss in the timeout? We'll soon find out. I'm pretty sure they would have said, stay off the refs, I'll handle that as the coach. And I mean, if you look up at the scoreboard, Mackay, 5 team fouls, Brisbane 0 for the quarter. And that's going to make them frustrated. But that's also a result, I think, of Brisbane running great quality offense and getting looks at the rim where there's layups that are contested, which are fouls. So it's a combination of a couple of things, but it's Brisbane's offense working really well. But I think Mackay need to go to a zone and try and take Brisbane out of this Dallas set that they run so well.
As Cariatiana gets the steal and just goes on the inside for a nice easy layup for 2. Nice kick out there from Nadine Payne. Out to the captain, Horton, who drains the 3.
And don't Mackay just look so much better when Nadine gets touches? Doesn't have to shoot or score every time, but she just draws so much attention.
Yeah, she's just got such a good eye for basketball as well. So like you said, she doesn't necessarily have to be the one shooting the ball, but when she gets touches, things happen for Mackay. And like that play there, she drives on the inside, great inside-outside passage of play out to Horton for the 3. And that's the game that Mackay needs to play. They need to get the ball through their key players and look for those kinds of opportunities. Nice offensive rebound there from Cariatiana. She gets the inside bucket for 2. Spartans take the lead by 5. Nadine Payne, good fake to the right, drives left for the bucket for 2.
If we watched a WNBL tape, I reckon Nadine would spend most of her time at the 3 spot. In the QBL, she plays 4, sometimes 5. which she's very good at. That means she's got a taller player on her, and she is taking advantage of these bigger Spartans girls off the dribble at the moment. So while Mackay have to make adjustments because Brisbane is scoring far too easily, Brisbane's going to have a chat about what they're going to do about Nadine Payne as well.
Well, that's the advantage of playing across the 3-4-5 spot is that not only is she a big that can play a strong defensive game down low, but she's also got that foot speed as well. So she can take on those bigs inside and just get past them. Like, she's just such a versatile player, and I think that's why she is the biggest threat, well, one of the biggest threats that Mackay has, and why she needs to keep getting those touches.
Man, Tammy really very nice mid-range jump shot, but man, she loves that jump. She had a layup. Just take one step and lay that ball in a game that will probably be 1 or 2 possessions you'd expect at the end of the match. Those buckets hurt you, but more importantly, there's not a shallow baseline in the Spartans' home gym here, but it's not that deep, and I think Arja has twisted an ankle contesting that that last lap, and man, she is looking ginger. I mean, she's been balling too. 12 points, fantastic, probably the best Spartans defensive player. She's going to have to go and tape that up again, and if this was the AFL, she'd go and get a needle in it. I don't think we have needles in Clem Jones Centre, at least not that we know about. So hopefully she gets a retaping job and comes back out in the second half.
Yeah, I don't think we quite have the budget in the QBL for needle injections for Payne. But I'm sure we'll see her back by the end of the game as well. Parham is such a tough player.
Well,
I'm sure.
I'm not so sure. She looks really ginger, and if I'm Brisbane, I might say, man, let's just not make it worse. And if we need her tomorrow afternoon, hopefully she's good for that game. It didn't look good, but we'll see. We'll see.
Kariatiana, long 3-bomb, just bouncing down and out.
And offensively, losing Arja doesn't hurt too much. Of course, she's a very good player, but they do have other pieces. But it's defensively where she's so good that they're going to have to find another way to cover for her.
And I think you're right in that sense as well, Dan. Like, being the fact that they are such a deep team, the Spartans, losing one player isn't really going to hurt them too much, because there's 3 or 4 girls they could easily sub in from the bench that are going to be just as impactful on this team if they need to step up.
Well, unlike the Mackay men, how about that? Sean Bruce getting hurt 5 minutes into or 6 minutes into the game last night. They're going to get blown out again if he can't play, you would think. So we'll bring you updates at some stage tonight. But injuries at the worst time of the season can just undo so much good work. Hopefully that's not the case for the Brisbane Spartans ladies here. Nice move.
Askaratiana with a sweet move inside. 2 more for Ash.
This is where down 5, Mackay, like they're doing here, just, I couldn't get a good look there, but they just need to run long offensive possessions, I think, and just grind out this last minute and a half.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a very different Mackay team in the second half. They're going to have a few things to talk about at the halftime break, and we'll see a very different team at the half. As Michaela Cox steps back for the 3. That bounces out. Purcell with a big board. Rush drive to the right for Purcell is no good. Kariatiana now with the opportunity. Nice kick over. Nat Taylor can't go to work on the inside. Mackay is around about 10 seconds differential between game and shot as Nadine Payne step back 3.
We have some frustrated girls on the court at the moment, Regan. I think Nat Taylor is about to lose her top of herself. Just missed a couple of buckets that she would automatically make in most possessions, and Nadine Payne as well, just frustrated. Brisbane here should hold for the last shot.
Yeah, 7 seconds to go. Spartans will be the last opportunity of the game. Kariatiana, big drive inside. A lot of contact to end the game. But that is it at the halftime score, 41-36. So Brisbane Spartans managed to fight their way back from a 5-point deficit to a 5-point lead. So a 10-point turnaround for the Spartans. But I'm sure there'll be a lot to talk about at that halftime break, Dan, for both teams. I mean, it's been a very, let's say, interesting first half of basketball on both ends. Both teams having to adjust to the way the referees are calling the game, and it's been a little bit hard so far, but I'm sure they'll come out and we'll see a very different game at the half.
But again, aren't we being treated to two great teams? I mean, men's or women's basketball, just basketball fans in general should be loving what these girls are putting on the floor. It's just a fantastic game for the second night in a row.
Yeah, just to comment quickly on what you said a moment ago as well. I think you're a little bit out. The Mackay Meteors, even without Sean Bruce, they come back and I can't see the live stats, unfortunately. They're not updating, but it is 47-33 up in Mackay.
Oh, that's great.
So the Meteors, I'm not sure whether Sean Bruce is playing or not. Their live stats aren't working, unfortunately, but it's a 14-point lead for Meteors, so maybe that game will go to a third game series.
Well, let's hope so. The Mackay crowd, after such an awesome season, and Cam Trigar's done a great job his first year in control, they deserve a third game after what happened last night. So hopefully these men, for the sake of the Mackay fans, can hang tough, and what a great game that would be tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, definitely so. So we'll keep you updated through that one throughout the night as well. But for now, we'll take a quick break, but we'll be back with you shortly for more live QBL Grand Final action presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. And welcome back to the QBL Women's Grand Final Game 2, 41-36. The Brisbane Spartans taking a 5-point lead going into the half. But what an amazing and interesting half of basketball we've had, Dan.
It's been a great half. And like we said before the break, these girls are just putting on a display. So anyone here in the gym tonight, anyone watching on the stream or watching it back after the date are being treated to two great teams with a lot of great players on the floor. In terms of the first half stats, though, just quickly, I mean, just looking at the box score, I mean, Brisbane 30 rebounds to Mackay 29. They're only +1. That's such an improvement for the Meteorettes over the last game or last couple of games against the Spartans, who've dominated them on the glass. But in saying that, Brisbane's still gone and got himself 12 offensive rebounds. Brisbane's had 52 shots. Mackay's had 36, if you can believe that. Quite amazing. I mean, looking at some of these other figures, both teams have done a good job looking after the ball. 7 turnovers for Mackay, only 3 for Brisbane, which is fantastic. And Brisbane, 2 of 16 from downtown. If they start knocking down some long-range shots, this game will be blown right open. But what a great second half of action we have coming up in what could be the deciding and final game of the season.
Yeah, definitely so. And it's been a great game as well. So very different from what we saw last night, but both teams really putting everything out on the floor. But I think you touched on the biggest point of the night, Dan. Mackay just needs to get more shots up, and not just more shots, more of the right shots. There were quite a few there in that second quarter in particular where we could tell that the girls were rattled by what was taking place out on the court, and they were just rushing up some shots that weren't quite as good options as what they could have found themselves. So I think Mackay just needs to settle things back down again and play more like they did in that first quarter, where they were playing a very slow, controlled offense and look for those right shot opportunities.
I think so. And in saying that, Michaela Cox, 2 of 9. Nadine Payne, 3 of 9. Tammy Willie, 0 of 5. So these are girls that are excellent players. And if they can just stick to their system and run their offense with a purpose, who do we want to get shots and where do we want to get those shots from? If they can do that and get these girls going, Mackay are every chance to get a win tonight.
Yeah, I think so as well. They just need to play that more controlled game of basketball and get those right shot opportunities, because you're right, it's unusual for those girls to not have a high shot percentage than what they do now. So we'll see what they bring out on the floor.
And that's going to happen. Michaela Cox is such a key to this Mackay team, and it's great to see Arja back on the floor with that ankle injury, which we weren't sure if we'd see her or not. She's definitely limping, but she's got the job guarding Michaela Cox. If I'm Michaela Cox, or if I'm Mackay, I'm just going to say, hey, let's run some wing-on balls. Nadine, Tammy Willie, come set the pick for me and let Arja try and guard me for the next 4 or 5 minutes and see if her ankle's any good, because if they can get her out of the game, that's really going to hurt the Spartans.
Yeah, definitely. So as we just seen Nadine Payne pick up her 3rd foul with that offensive charge driving into the keyway. Not a great start from her. We know that she was frustrated after the last couple of calls as well. So as long as she just keeps playing her game of basketball, it'll be a very, very strong contest here. And I think Mackay has what it takes to get themselves up this quarter.
Mackay ball on the baseline.
Mackay getting a little bit lucky there with the out-of-bounds passage of play going their way.
It's just sloppy offense too.
I think that's exactly the same passage of offense we saw down here, where I said I love a baseline drive, but you got to know when to pull out. And that was exactly the same situation where they've dribbled baseline and just been driven out of court, essentially.
Tammy really gets one to go. She's now 1 of 7, I think, but all it takes sometimes is to see that first bucket go down, and that can really get someone going, and Mackay need her in this half to pick it up.
Kalani Purcell, turnaround jumper is good for 2. And it really does. Sometimes all you need is that one little bit of motivation to get yourself back in the game. She obviously hasn't had a great first half, but that bucket is just going to see, hopefully, a flow-on effect, and she'll just keep making them from here on in. Tammy Willie again going strong on the inside.
I don't know how. I don't know. I'll just say I don't know. I thought there was a lot of contact down there. A lot of contact.
Yeah, I think I don't know is probably the easiest way to describe what's going on at the moment. Yeah, Tammy Willie having such a tough time down in underneath as well. Cariatiana gets blocked on the three-point shot, but offensive rebound going for Beck Haynes.
It's a great rebound too.
Oh, that's...
You know what? I hope she's okay. It looks like she is, but if you're a guard, don't put your hands in there. Tammy really did exactly what she's supposed to.
Nice three-point opportunity there. Nadine Payne with the putback jumper on the inside for 2. And yeah, I agree. Like, hopefully Cariatiana's okay after that contact, but you don't reach in on a big when they've just pulled down that defensive board.
And why, as Maddie Allen just gets the easiest lap, Mackay aren't going to win if they give up looks like that. But if Arja's Brisbane's point guard, why are they not picking her up full court? She's on 1.5 feet. I would be trying to pressure her as much as possible. They're really letting her off the hook at the moment, I feel.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to see what kind of defense. That was probably a foul on Maddie Allen. A lot of contact there on Palvast. I'm not really sure what defense Mackay is actually running at the minute. It's a little bit... They're just letting too many players go down. Like if Nat Taylor...
They're just in a lazy man-to-man, but Cariatiana's had a lot of good looks tonight. Great rebound. Oh, very good pass too from Maddie Allen. Just a little bit too hard, but...
It looks like we've got a flop warning out on the floor as well on Cariatiana. I'm not sure what passage of play that one was from.
Hopefully it wasn't for when she got elbowed in the face. Might have been.
I would certainly hope not. Nice shot fake from Nadine Payne. Step aside jumper. That's the kind of basketball we need to see out on the floor.
That's just
from
a
Mackay.
highly skilled player. You can't say enough good things. That is just shot fake. Want you a pull up. That's such a good move. Makes it look easy.
Yeah, and that's the big thing about Nadine Payne, and why I think Mackay didn't get themselves up last night is there wasn't enough of that. She didn't have enough of those opportunities where she could take those nice shot fakes, step aside, and take the open jumper. But that's the kind of basketball I love seeing her play. You see Michaela Cox go inside for another 2-point bucket as well, bringing the lead down for the Spartans to 1. Mackay fighting their way back into this one as Kalani Purcell drives baseline and steps out of court.
It's an interesting sub. Archer just looks like a not as optimistic and positive as she usually looks, full of energy. But this is an interesting sub for her because that ankle's okay once it's warm, but once it cools down over there on the bench, getting back up is oftentimes harder. So hopefully she can stay warm over there and play a big role in the second half of the Spartans. But I mean, we've got a great contest on our hands. Mackay's offense is looking so much better.
Tammy really struggling down on the inside. Kalani Purcell, strong defense.
Just good defense. Yeah, that was just good D. Contact, but...
Yeah, there wasn't much more that Kalani Purcell could do about that. She was perfectly straight. As Maddie Allen tries to go inside and ends up bowling over Michaela Cox inside.
Maddie Allen's not happy. There's a lot of unhappy girls in this building.
Yeah, I think that's what finals basketball does to you. You want to fight hard for the win, and when things just don't quite go your way, you get a little bit agitated. But that'll be Maddie Allen's 3rd foul as well. And she's the only one in foul trouble on the team. Everyone else only sitting on 1, if any.
The only unhappy, or very happy, I should say, girl in the building is my beautiful daughter, Emmy, 6 years old on the call. No comment? Bit shy, Emmy. Loves her basketball.
So 6 years old. So what does that make it? 28. We'll see her playing some college basketball over in the States or playing some big basketball here?
No. I've been to college in the States. I know what goes down. None of my girls are going to college in the States.
Okay, well, some local QBL
Unless I'm
basketball
going as well.
Then. Well, you wouldn't mind that, though, would you? Going over the States for a little bit, watching some NBA? You'd have a great time
for
over
4
there.
years, it'd be great. Anyway, big possession, which we missed here. The Brisbane fans want to charge. It's one of those ones that could almost go either way.
Yeah, look, I'm glad it's gone Mackay's way as well, because there's been a couple of, I think the last 2 or 3 block charge situations have gone against Mackay, 2 for Nadine Payne alone.
If that was a charge on Tammy Willie might have booted the ball into the swimming pool next door. She would not have been happy. Frustration's been brewing, so I like that call.
just settles things down a little bit and just lets the girls keep playing, which is really great to see. Caratiana pulls down a big board and drives the whole way down the court. But Michaela Cox just getting the bump on the side, and she'll pick up the foul.
Only her second, not too much of a concern, but again, both teams make runs. That's what basketball's all about. Brisbane played really great early, executing beautifully. Mackay chipped away. Mate, we've got a tied game with 15 minutes left in this match. We can't say it enough. We are just getting treated to two fantastic basketball teams. And I'm a bit of a homer. Like Rob Scheibner and I go way, way back. Obviously played at Southern Districts. So of course my heart says Spartans, but I hope Mackay win tonight because I think this league deserves a third game and Mackay deserve a third game as well. We're just watching two great teams go at it. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think Mackay definitely does deserve that third game to really show what they're worth, especially after the final series that they played last year as well, which we covered up in Rockhampton. They went down in a two-game series to Rocky, so I think they deserve a third game here to really show what they're worth and to really make the Brisbane Spartans work for it if they want to come away with that clean sweep. One of the good things as well that we saw, and we even commented at the very start of our broadcast tonight, Nadine Payne has to be a focus, but they've got to work hard to get her good looks, and they have made a few small adjustments, bringing her out more on the perimeter, letting her catch the ball on the move, cross-picking her to the post, and she's getting some great looks, and she is going to work with a three-point play in that last possession. Yeah, well, this time in the game last night, I think she'd probably only taken 7, maybe 8 shots if she was lucky. But in the game here tonight, she's sitting on 13 field goals, and I believe that was 3 and 4 from the free throw line as well. So she's getting a lot more looks, and that's been crucial in them keeping up with the Spartans to this point.
Substance Spartans, Arsha Parham in for Carly Curry. Odette Isaac is in for Nat Taylor.
And to keep you updated on the out-of-town scoreboard as well on the QBL live stream up in Mackay with John and Dave Derwin. Mackay 63 are beating the Townsville Heat 47. So it does look like at this point in time, 4 minutes to go with an 18-point differential. That game may be going to a third game.
I wish we had some live stats for that, as Nadine Payne on a fantastic out-of-bounds play. Can't quite get it, but man, Palvast, let's watch Michaela Cox. 3. Oh, rebound to Purcell, well saved. Palvast just does so many small things really well. She looks like a great teammate. Not going to light it up and go for 30, I don't think, but just does rebounds, defense, passes the ball well. Very good player.
Yeah, definitely so. And she's only scored 2 points in the game, but I don't think that accurately records the game that she's actually had, because she's been so strong defensively, and she's been implemental in some of the big turnarounds for Mackay in this game.
Meanwhile, Michaela Cox is standing over here. They need to find ways to get her going, and I think, well, Nadine Payne shooting, it's never a bad option, but they need to put pressure on Arja. She is hobbling all over the place. But credit to her just toughing it out in a big game, obviously.
Yeah, and look, I don't blame her, even though she's in a little bit of pain. Grand Finals basketball, you don't want to miss out on that, especially when your team needs you to help get over the line.
They just threw her alley-oop. Beck Haynes just lobbed it up. Go get it, Arja, on your one leg. Obviously, it led to a turnover.
Yeah, we can see she's still hobbling a little bit out on the floor, so in a little bit of discomfort, but fighting through, as you said, just such a tough player.
There you go. That's what she needs to do. Misses a layup, but Arja not nearly effective defensively as she usually is.
And turnover there. Beck Haynes is getting the ball caught up in her own hand. Gillian Horton with the steal.
Well, this is where Mackay need to run. 18 seconds on the shot clock. They need to take a shot. Nadine Payne, Michaela Cox with 5 seconds, 4 seconds on the clock. Make Brisbane play defense.
I think the Mackay girls, from my perspective, from the last couple of plays, it's starting to look as though they're tiring down. There was probably 3 seconds there where the 3 girls on the far side of the court were just standing there, not moving. Their offense is starting to slow down a little bit too much, and they're actually just not cutting, they're not moving, they're not trying to open up space. And that's a problem, especially when you need to get the ball into the hands of the likes of Nadine Payne or Michaela Cox.
Well, it's almost...
Things getting a little bit feisty on the court there.
Locked in. It's almost time for a timeout. So both coaches have 3 left. This is a really important 2 minutes for both teams. Brisbane up 3. How do you close out quarters, especially a third quarter in a championship game?
Michaela Cox goes to work inside, outside to Nadine Payne for the 3. That's the kind of teamwork.
Going at Arja, ISO at the top, can get her feet in the paint, draws defenders in, kicks it out wide open, Nadine Payne.
There's Hort now with the steal and the nice, easy layup for 2. That's a big turnaround for Mackay. That'll give them some energy and give them some excitement back in this game. An illegal screen called there for the Spartans as well.
That's an offensive foul.
I'm not too sure where that one came from, to be completely honest with you, Dan.
Well, Catatiano was setting a down screen on the weak side over on the far side of the court for anyone watching. In fact, right in front of the Metis Wealth Management sign, Income Protection Life Insurance Specialist here in Brisbane. But I didn't see the play. This is where you'd love to go and be able to look at a tape real quick, but I don't know if there was much in it. Certainly way off the ball.
Yeah, maybe for Nothing But Net Media live streaming 2018, we'll have some slow motion action replays. We'll get James working on that one for us as soon as we can. As Odette Isaac takes the 3 ball, that bounces out.
Oh, you got to grab that rebound. We don't want team rebounds. You got to grab those stats.
She takes Ashkenatiana's place. Beck Haynes gets a breather and Maddie Allen's back in.
And as we look at the live stats again from the out-of-town scoreboard, it looks like Sean Bruce is not playing for Mackay. So he has been sitting out. He hasn't touched the court yet, but some big points coming from Cameron Tragar, Luke Walker, and I think it's Chris Cedar, is it? On 17 as well. Yep. So some big points coming out of those 3 gentlemen.
Well, Sean Bruce is done for the weekend, surely. With the NBL season this close, they won't risk him, but anyway, back at this action. Brisbane with a really great defensive possession.
So we just hit just under a minute to go. Mackay found their way back into the lead by 2. Parham goes strong at Cox. Kalani Purcell on the inside left-hand drive. She'll draw the foul and go to the line.
Well, that's just a good player making something out of nothing. That was a rare stagnant possession for the Spartans, but Kalani Purcell, just so talented, saw an opportunity and earned herself 2 shots.
Yeah, she's such a strong player, Purcell, and it'll be interesting to see how Spartans go next year as well, without the likes of Kalani Purcell and probably without Nat Taylor as well, if they make the New Zealand team and play in the Commonwealth Games. So it could be a very different Spartans team in 2018.
I reckon that is the furthest thing from anyone's mind over there in the Spartans bench at the moment. 2018 doesn't matter if you're the 2017 champ.
So Purcell going none from 2 from the free throw line. About 20-second differential, so Mackay will hold out for the second last shot. And they'll be wanting to make this to not give Spartans a chance of getting back in front into the half as Jackie Zelenka goes left, kicks out to Palvas with the big block from Parham on one leg. Big turnaround there for Spartans. They'll hold for the last shot, and the chance to tie this game will go up by 1 into the 3-quarter break. Just under 5 to go. Kicks out. Odette Isaac on the 3. Bounces off the front of the rim. Maddie Allen can't quite get back up in time for the putback. So 51-53.
How about Arja? No one really knows how bad her ankle is except her, but it's obviously not good. But what a massive block.
No,
when you've got a 2-point game, a tied game, grand final, it's going to go right down to the last few possessions. That sort of defensive play, if Brisbane do win it, they'll look back at that and think it's a massive momentum shift going into the 3-quarter time break.
Yeah, definitely so. But like you said, Dan, we've got another game on our hands here tonight. 2 points to lead for the Mackay Meteorettes in a 3-quarter time. But we're going to take a break. We'll be back with you shortly for more live QBL Grand Final action presented by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. And welcome back to the QBL Game 2 Grand Final as the Mackay Meteorettes take on the Brisbane Spartans. Mackay lead by 2 into the 4th quarter. And Darren, what a quarter it is going to be.
Sure is. Can't ask for much more than the 2 best teams in the league. Apologies to the Logan Thunder. But the 2 best teams in the league for most of the season battling it out in a 2-point game. At this stage in the season, Game 2 of a Grand Final series. And if you look back at the half-time stats, Nadine Payne's 3 of 9, playing well but not great. She had 10 points that quarter. She's now on 19 points, 8 boards for the game. And Tammy Willie, for her struggles offensively, 1 of 12. She's pulled down 10 rebounds. But Brisbane as well, playing a very even, balanced attack like we always see. But Payne continues to go to work down low. She's trying to will her team to a 3rd game.
Yeah, she goes strong down on the inside there for that too. And I think that's exactly right. Like, she's absolutely dominating in the game tonight, and she's really leading this team, but not to be outdone by the likes of Jackie Zelenka as well, coming off the bench, only playing 12 minutes, but 11 points as well for Mackay. So she's having an absolutely stellar game herself.
And that's a massive bucket for Brisbane, not because they were down, which they still are, by 1, but Nat Taylor, who's struggled last night with her shot, struggled tonight badly, knocks down a really pretty 3-point shot, which she is fantastic. Usually at shooting, if they can get her going, this game could be over tonight.
Yeah, as Jackie Zelenka's step back 2's no good. But once again, the Spartans being led by Ashley Cariatiana on 19 points, and Aja Parham, even with that big ankle injury as well, she's still on 14, pulling down 6 boards, so she's doing some amazing work. Maddie Allen really dominating on the boards, 9 so far with 6 points. So Brisbane Spartans once again really spreading the love amongst all the girls. As Aja Parham goes strong inside and picks up the foul. That going against Tammy Willie. That'll only be her 2nd, so nothing too concerning there. No one really in any kind of foul trouble tonight.
Aja Parham to the free throw line.
Aja Parham goes 1 from 2. She's 3 from 4 from the night. Fighting through that ankle injury to have a really, really strong game, even while hurt. But Mackay now with an opportunity. The game's drawn at 55 apiece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kalani Purcell, that's the thing. Nadine Payne's been playing so well. Such a focus for any defense, but obviously tonight as well. Kalani just bumped her as she cut through, and not a bad foul, but definitely some contact, and Fiona made the right call.
And a really strong drive from Nadine Payne as well. I mean, that's the right move. You've got to have that aggression and the ability to cut through the key and look for the defense and where you're going to be able to pick up those sneaky fouls. So we see Tammy Willie bowl over on the inside, but Nadine Payne with the putback. She gets herself into over 20 points, 21 from memory.
Well, that'll be 22 and 23 for her tonight on the putback, and she is playing well. In pink shoes too. You know you got game when you wear pink shoes.
Strong board again for Maddie Allen. That'll be her 10th. It's Cariatiana with the 3 ball. She takes the lead for the Spartans, 58-57. She is on fire tonight. It's almost a battle of Cariatiana and Nadine Payne.
Oh, that's a hell of a move. Michaela Cox, damn.
And good finish as well from Cox. Goes left, goes right with a beautiful left-hand finger roll to finish. And Michaela Cox is someone that we haven't really seen take off in this game either. She's taken a fair few shots. She's just had a lot of unfortunate rolls and hasn't been able to convert. But I think she'll probably fire in this last couple of minutes. Hopefully that gets her on a roll. Free ball from Cox, no good on that occasion. Out of bounds play will favour Mackay, so they'll have a new 14. We see Palvast check back in for Mackay. Jackie Zelenko taking a seat, but she's had such a great game, pulling 11 points so far and 6 rebounds. Jackie Zelenko, great effort off the bench.
Oh, out of bounds, I think.
Yeah, it was a good hustle from Horton to try and get that ball back, but just unfortunately stepping back onto the line. Spartans with it now with the opportunity to take the lead back. Kalani Purcell, 5 seconds to score. She goes strong on the inside and converts for 2. She takes the lead back, 60-59. Nice inside look there to Cox. She kicks back out for Willie. Horton now on the 3. Good O-board, great opportunity for a second chance as Nadine Payne again looks to go to work. Kicks out for Cox on the 3. It's good offense from Mackay. They're just not being able to find the bottom of the net at the moment.
They've got a couple of good shots, but I just think they've gone away a little bit from what was working so well, which is making Nadine a focus point, but not just giving it to her and standing, but running her off cuts, bringing her off screen, letting her flash to the post and catching the ball on the move. They've got away from that as Nat Taylor knocks down her second shot of the quarter. Mackay need to continue to work hard to get those quality looks for their top players and not just expect it to come out of like a flow broken offense, which is much easier to defend.
Yeah, and Spartans really working strong defensively as well. As we see them just play here now, they're playing a very tight man-to-man defense, well and truly above the 3-point line. So just pushing up and really making Mackay work for every single bucket that they're going to get. The shot clock falls below 10. Parham kicks across. Nat Taylor just breaking through Jillian Horton for the finger roll for 2. Coach Teskey going to the bench for a timeout, so they'll have a break. We'll take one as well, but we'll be back with you shortly for more live QBL action presented by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. And welcome back. We're halfway through the fourth quarter, 64-59. Brisbane Spartans just getting themselves a late lead. And have a quick look at the out-town scoreboard. Mackay in the men's game, up in Mackay, 81-61 over Townsville. So 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter there. Looks like Mackay will be taking that one home. But back on to what I believe is probably the best game that we've seen all weekend across the 4 games we've covered so far. Absolutely astounding game from both teams, Dan.
Oh, it sure is, and we've got exactly 5 minutes left. 5-point game. You cannot ask for anything more if you're a basketball fan.
No, 2 amazingly close games in a grand final series. Whoever comes away with the victory, whether it be tonight for the Spartans or possibly Mackay tomorrow in Game 3, I mean, these girls have left absolutely everything on the floor, and they've done nothing but fight all weekend. So we see Tammy Willie just bouncing the ball out, and a strong O-board for the jump ball as well. Maddie Allen, a little bit shaken up there, but jump ball does favour the Spartans, so they will still get the possession.
And Tammy really, you can't fault her effort at all, but just that jump shot's just not there for her tonight. But you can't stop shooting it. You just got to keep getting up, and if it's the right shot to take, you got to let it fly like she's doing.
Yeah, absolutely so. And I mean, she's been shooting so well all season, and she's got to keep taking those shots tonight. They're eventually going to start falling. But great defense there from Horton. Kariatiana somehow hitting that jumper from, I reckon, behind the backboard.
And I think it, like coming back to that Tammy Willie point, it makes an extra emphasis that, like they do here, Mackay have to make Nadine Payne the focus.
Yeah, definitely so.
Or even try some two-man game, Michaela Cox, Nadine Payne, just give Brisbane some different looks to try and defend, but you would think either Cox or Payne has to be the one deciding what's going to happen on every Mackay possession here.
Well, I want to see more of that that team game of Michaela Cox and Nadine Payne, where I think it was Michaela Cox who drove strong down the center of the key and drew all the defense for the open three-ball pass out to Nadine Payne. I mean, that was an amazing passage of play, and I think we need to see more of that kind of teamwork between those two as Nadine Payne drains an all-important three.
Whack.
So back down to 4, but yeah, I think that double team of Nadine Payne and Michaela Cox is going to be crucial for Mackay if they're going to get themselves back in the lead. Nat Taylor strong to the left, fighting through defense. Can't get the finger roll to fall. Horton from Mackay coming down with the defensive board.
And like they did on the last possession, Mackay run another good set. Make Brisbane play another 15 seconds of defense.
Nice inside-outside game. Goes back into Tammy Willie for the shot. And that's more like from Tammy Willie, finding the bottom of the net.
But how much better does every team offense look when you get feet in the paint? Pass penetration, dribble penetration, O-boards, and Michaela Cox doing an awesome job on 2 possessions in a row, getting her feet in the paint for a Nadine Payne 3, and then a pass to an assist for Tammy Willie down low.
And I've always been a big fan of inside-outside offense as well. I was never a big, going back to juniors days, playing a shell offense, passing around the outside. As soon as you get your feet in the paint, the defense panics and crashes down to open up that outside shot. And for Mackay in particular, they've got some really strong 3-ball shooters. I mean, they're shooting from around about 30% for the night. That's what you need to do. You need to look for those opportunities to draw away the defense and take the open outside opportunities. Or even then, if that fails, dish it back down inside once the defense crashes out again. Kalani Purcell, rush 3-point shot as the shot clock expires.
She had to shoot it. But unfortunately for her, not a great look, but had no choice.
Yeah, Mackay with another opportunity now. Let's see what they do here. But that inside-outside game they were playing just before worked incredibly well for them as Nadine Payne drives strong to the right. She gets stripped, but they'll get the ball back with 12 seconds on the shot.
Great defense by Nat Taylor.
Oh.
5 seconds now. Horton with it. She'll pass out to Palvast. Her 3-point shot, no good for Mackay. Back to Spartans.
I'm such a big fan of Palvast's game. I just think she's such a good player. But Shivana's just struggled to get that shot going tonight. But 2 minutes, all it takes is 1 or 2 makes, and all those previous misses will be forgotten.
Yeah, as we do just about come into the last 2 minutes of the game. Kariatiana, step back jump shot, way too strong. Michaela Cox picking up a cheeky little foul there on the wrist, so that'll reset the shot clock. Not a good foul, that one either. They had about 7 seconds left on the shot clock, Spartans, and they were deep outside the 3. Great defense there from Michaela Cox with the steal as Parham with the block on Michaela Cox,
Wow.
but she goes back to
Oh,
work.
no. Some kid. Pelvas was about to lay the ball up, and some kids let the ball roll. That's terrible.
I don't think that was so much
That
the
is
kid's fault,
terrible.
unfortunately, as I think it was...
Well, there should be no balls down there.
Yeah.
Like, I know
As they went
Archer
running in,
runs
they've knocked
into
it
the
in.
court,
Yeah.
into the crowd. Amazing block. I don't know why they're even... those balls should be removed. Put in the grandstand.
Kid's probably sitting too close to the baseline as well. Very unfortunate. That was a
But let's
perfect
not take that
opportunity
away
for
from
Mackay.
an amazing possession. Michaela Cox, awesome to get the steal, and Arja with her one leg. An incredible chase down block.
Yeah, and that was a tough drive there for Michaela Cox into traffic, so she'll get pulled up for the jump ball. But that's probably not the opportunity that Mackay really needs right now. Driving through 3 players to the inside, she wasn't going to be able to get anywhere. They need to look more for the outside opportunities and the free player.
Oh, no.
Palvas turns it over as the shot clock started dying down. Kalani Purcell, yeah, big foul there from Palvas.
Fouls on number 10, Savannah. Palvas. That's personal foul. Number 3 team fouls.
And again, we're going to come down to the wire here, Dan. 1:37 to go,
Wow.
66-64.
I've never seen this. Savannah Palvas just said, sub me out. I'm not doing anything. And as they've subbed out the wrong girl. Oh, what a mess. What a mess for Mackay. Shannon Vatner said, I'm not doing anything, sub me out, and she looks relieved as the player comes in off the bench to sub her in. But they wanted Savannah out, and Willie steps out, so who knows what's going on over there on the Mackay bench. That could be a foul too. Just an out-of-bounds call.
Yeah, just about too. Like, obviously, in a normal situation, you do want to just go the out-of-bound and save the foul, but a lot of contact there from Kalani Purcell as she's coming over the top of Jackie Zelenka.
Oh, don't worry, Mackay wants that call. Nadine is working. And that's where the mistake on the substitution with Tammy Willie crashing the glass so well tonight. They leave Palvas on and sub Willie out. I think accidentally could have cost them on that offensive rebound because Zelenka just couldn't quite get up and grab it.
Yeah, definitely so. And I'm surprised that Spartans haven't caught on to the fact that you can't jump on Nadine Payne's shot fake. I think that's the 2nd or 3rd time that's happened now when Nadine Payne has faked the 3-point shot and then driven right for the jumper on the inside.
Massive
you just can't let her do that.
Massive possession here. I think they call a blocking foul.
Was it a blocking foul, or I think that was a technical foul for the flop. And it is too. That is an absolutely huge call on Cariatiana as she gets called for the technical foul for the flop.
That's amazing.
That is huge. That's a potential game changer. I don't necessarily disagree with the call. I was a little bit too far away to see, but that is huge.
That is a ridiculous call at this stage in the game. But I think we got a phone call from David Stern over in the league head office and said, we want TV revenue for the 3rd game. Send it to game 7. And they've put in the order to try and give Mackay a chance here.
As that technical foul free throw draws the lead back down to only 1 for the Brisbane Spartans, but Mackay will maintain possession. So that is huge. I mean, in Q1 or Q2, Dan, I've got nothing wrong with that. If girls want to flop and fall over, that's fine. But
was it a flop though? An obvious flop. Call it as Mackay. I don't know what they're running.
I don't know what
Nadine Payne not taking that shot. How do you not run a possession for Nadine Payne or Michaela Cox? I don't understand what's going on here.
With 30 seconds to go, Jackie Zelenka driving through 3 girls on the inside through traffic. It's not a smart decision.
That's crazy to me. There's so much time left. I don't understand what they were doing.
There's only 3 seconds that separates the game clock and shot clock, so Mackay's going to have
pretty much... Do they foul?
I think they have to, don't they? They have to.
Arja's a great foul shooter, but she did go 1 of 4 in the last minute last night, so the pressure does get to everybody, and she has a sprained ankle. Let's see.
Oh, and they are calling that the 4th team foul as well. The game board here was only showing 3 before, but apparently that is the 5th. So Arja is going to go to the line for 2 free throws, but yeah, hopefully she's fixed up that shot from last night. And under pressure tonight, she makes the first.
Expect a timeout here either way, make or miss. Clutch.
Arja 2 from 2, making up for last night. 68-65, Mackay needing a 3-point possession, taking the timeout, so they'll get the advancement. Dan, if you're Mackay, please tell me you're going to Nadine Payne for the 3.
Well, I think you got to put the ball in Michaela Cox's hands to start with. Let her come off an on-ball, run a horn set, whatever it is that they've got in their arsenal that they've been practicing all season, or especially for the last month or so, knowing that they would be in this position. Michaela Cox, I think, has to make the decision, but if anyone other than Michaela Cox or Nadine Payne shoots this shot, I'll be stunned. And hopefully it's Nadine Payne. She missed a 3-ball last night, which would have given Mackay a Game 1 win. She's been unstoppable tonight. I hope they give her a chance to tie this game up.
Well, what do you do? Let me float this by you as well, Dan. Do you go for the 3 to draw it straight away, or do you go for the 2, an easy 2 on the inside off a, off a horn set or a screen or something? Go for the 2, foul straight away, and then give yourselves another opportunity.
Well, it's a great question. I don't know if I'm coaching. It depends. I would almost try and go. They're going to advance the ball to halfway, I think. So they're going to have to spend 7 or 8 seconds, but I would try and get like a double on-ball pick of the post and get something at the rim. But the Spartans aren't in foul trouble, so there's unlikely they'll send you to the foul line. But I do think get to the paint and let Michaela Cox make that decision. If we lay it up, but if there's collapsed defense, kick it out and trust your shooters. But you've got to give yourself, 10, 9 seconds to go get an O-board. But Michaela Cox, couple of on-ball picks. Watch her to get her feet in the paint and either lay it up herself or kick it out to a shot. Yeah, hopefully for Nadine Payne here.
Yeah, 18 seconds on the clock. Let's see what they do. It looks
they're
like
going for a 3,
maybe holding up for the 3. So Michaela Cox with it, kicks out to Zelenka. Inside.
I thought she was going to make that layup.
I thought she was as well. That could have been a huge play on the N1.
Well, that I don't understand. I don't understand because they go for the 2, but, they spend 11 seconds doing it. So they now give themselves a very hard chance to make 2 foul shots, tie Brisbane. They'll probably have 5 seconds on the clock, call another timeout. If they're going to take 2, they've got to go quicker than that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think they were intending to go for the 2. The way they were setting up around the outside, it looks like Michaela Cox was meant to take the 3 from the far side, but Brisbane Spartans probably well and truly aware that that's what they were going for. And great decision from Michaela Cox as well, though, recognizing that the 3 is not going to happen and going for the inside 2. It's going to be all important that at absolute best, Michaela Cox needs to make the second for the out-of-bounds play so they can foul as soon as the clock starts when it gets inbounds.
Well,
sends Barnes to the line.
Well, the other thing is Brisbane have to be really careful not to give up a no-board. And that's why I'm kind of surprised Tammy Willie's not subbed back into the game. If Michaela Cox makes the first and misses the second, she looks like she's got ice in her veins. That looks like nothing but net. But if they miss the second foul shot, why isn't Tammy really in there to get an O-board?
Yeah, nothing against Jackie Zelenka, but when you're coming up against Maddie Allen.
And there it is. I just don't understand what Mackay's doing. Yeah. From a coaching point of view, the last couple of minutes has been really disappointing from a coaching perspective if I'm Mackay. I don't understand what's going on over there.
No, I agree. I mean, like I said, nothing against Zelenka, but she's not the person you want coming up against Maddie Allen, who's had so much strength in both of these grand final games. You need the big of Maddie Willie, Maddie Willis in there, Tammy Willie, once I get my names right, fighting for that offensive board. But nonetheless, Mackay smart on the defensive rebound, fouling Maddie Allen. And it's funny, I saw Maddie Allen take four free throws before the game started tonight, and I think she missed 3 of the 4, but makes it when they're important. She goes 2 from 2, taking the lead out to 4. Mackay going back to the bench, setting up a play. 4 points down. It's not looking good for Mackay.
No, the game's over now, I would think. Massive foul shots from Maddie Allen, enormous. And this game should be over. And if it is, I'll be disappointed because Mackay have played so well. And there'll be some girls, Tammy Willie, Shavana Palvast, who will feel like they didn't give their best tonight and you only lost by 3 or 4 points or 2 points. So hopefully they can find a way here to manufacture, a bucket, a foul, and who knows, it's still far from over, but Brisbane will have to make a couple of mistakes to lose from here, and I just don't think they're going to make them. And if you take those Siebel years out, which did result, if you look around the banners in the gym, 2009, 2014, Siebel national champions. In terms of QBL, this will be their 5th championship in a row.
I think it may actually be the 6th as well, Dan. I heard some of the Spartans people talking beforehand from the office, and I think they said 6. I'm not sure either way. 5 or 6 in a row is absolutely crazy. The Spartans' QBL competition is insanely competitive. But here we go, 5.8 seconds left on the clock. Mackay pretty much needing to pull out a 3-point shot with the and 1 as well. It's unlikely, but we'll see how that folds out. And here we go, straight to Michaela Cox on the inbound. Drives left for the 3, takes the shot, and that is it. Your 27 QBL Women's Grand Finals, the Brisbane Spartans 5 or 6 years in a row with the break in the middle. The Spartans have done it 2 from 2, a complete clean sweep of the QBL. And what an amazing season it has been for the Brisbane Spartans. Winning the season undefeated in regular rounds, taking the minor championship and taking the grand final series as well, 2 from 2. But I think we have to comment on Mackay as well, Dan. I mean, what an absolutely amazing series that they've put up in this grand final here tonight. And I agree, they needed to go to a third game. They deserve that opportunity with the way they've played.
Well, that's the word I would use, deserved. But from a basketball fan point of view, just 2 fantastic teams. And I hope my comments coaching-wise weren't too critical. They've done an amazing job with this squad to get them where they are tonight. So credit for both Brisbane and Mackay. They've done an awesome job. But how about the Brisbane Spartans? Beck Stevens, rookie coach, championship. Rob Scheibner, championship. And all these girls, an undefeated season. I don't think that's been done, or at least it hasn't been done in a long time. So amazing to see and very well deserved for this long history club which have so much pride in their women's program.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a way to end the season as well, in front of a crowd that has to be at least 1,000, if not 1,200 people strong here in Roland Cowan Stadium. An amazing game, and I can't fault the 2 games we've had here in the last couple of days, Dan. I mean, both games have been fought so well by both teams, and credit given where credit's due. Mackay has had such an incredible season, and to come into these 2 games, going up a team that's undefeated, to lose last night by only 2 points and tonight by 4, I can't wait to see what they bring to us in 2018, because they're going to have a blinding season again because they've played so well this year.
Oh, they've got a huddle going on here, and I've got no doubt that he'll be saying, man, we lost, but I'm so proud of you girls. And he should be. And he should be proud of himself. They put together a great year, but like a Nadine Payne, can we just single her out? Man, she can hoop.
Yeah.
Disappointed, I'm sure, but man, played well, but can't say nothing about this Spartans team. Well coached, unselfish players. They could have girls like an Odette or a Nat Taylor that could easily go and score 15 or 16 points a game on a poorer team. You know, go to the Capitals, go to Toowoomba, get paid a bit of money, put up numbers, but they play here unselfishly and they win championships, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, definitely so. And Mackay has absolutely nothing to hang their heads about here tonight because they've really played such a strong season. And the Spartans are a very formidable opponent, but they gave everything to them. But I agree, Dan, we have to do a massive shout out to Nadine Payne. She has just had such an amazing season, an amazing final series as well, going 26 points in the game tonight to lead all scorers. Before we wrap things up here and congratulate the Spartans once again, let's roll through some of the final stats, Dan. So let's look at the Mackay Meteorettes to start out with. As we just said, Nadine Payne, she managed to pull her double-double in the end, 26 points, 11 rebounds, followed by Michaela Cox on 11 points, 8 rebounds, doing some really nice work defensively as well, pulling off 2 block shots as well. Jackie Zelenka coming out off the bench with 11 points, pulling down 6 boards as well. And not to be outdone, some amazing rebound stats. Tammy Willie pulling 11 boards. Really great effort from the Mackay Meteorettes. And Dan, do you want to walk us through the Spartans?
Oh, I'm just looking from a team point of view, and man, the season's over. It almost feels silly to go and talk about individual players, but from a competitive point of view, from a team stats, Brisbane was +2 on the rebound counts. Both teams only turned it over 10 times. I mean, they just had almost the same amount of field goal attempts. Brisbane had 81 shots, Mackay 80. You know, they just were 2 great teams, evenly matched, but Brisbane, to their credit, just had too much class, and when it counted, they made the plays, and that's why they're the undefeated champion.
Yeah, and I think some of that comes down as well is they had quite a lot of second chance points as well, so those O-boards really paying off for Brisbane. You know, they just went to work crashing the boards. I think a lot of that comes from Maddie Allen as well. I mean, she crashed the boards on the inside.
Well, they had 20 O-boards, but so did Mackay. I mean, they both, from a stats point of view, both did so well, but you're right, Brisbane just have so many good players, and I think the coaching staff have put in place a system that suited the players have bought into it, and they've played unselfishly, and as a result, they haven't lost a game in over 12 months, a long time. They haven't lost a game since they played in the Siebel. So, long time, obviously, and credit to them.
Yeah, definitely so. And that does just wrap things up here for us here at Roland Cowan Stadium. But what an amazing way to end the 2017 QBL women's competition. 2 amazing games. Mackay and Meteorettes really working hard to get to this position and giving the Brisbane Spartans a real run for their money and making them fight for the championship. But a massive, massive congratulations to the Brisbane Spartans, your 2017 QBL Women's Grand Finalists in a complete clean sweep of the QBL. But it's not all over for Mackay, as they will be going to a 3rd game in the men's competition. My laptop's just died in front of me, but I think it was 91-73, the final score in the men's game. So don't forget to tune into that, because Game 3 of the men's competition will be incredible as well. But that about just does it for us here. A massive thanks to everyone from the Nothing But Net media crew and Live Sports Australia. Dan, any final words on the season?
Oh, I don't think so, but congratulations to the whole league and all the clubs that are involved. And we celebrate the Spartans tonight, and we celebrate Mackay as well. But there are so many volunteers at so many clubs that put in so many hours behind the scenes for no recognition really at all, when they deserve plenty, just because they're the reason that we have a league. And you look around at everyone here at the moment and the court's flooded with kids, and that's what it's all about. And we're just lucky to have such a great competition. The men's are putting on a great product. The women's product has been awesome all year, and I mean, the QBL just goes from strength to strength.
Yeah, and I just want to comment on that as well. When you said the women's product has grown, I mean, it really has. Year on year, this women's competition is getting so much better. We've jumped 20% on last year and probably another 20% on the year before that. There is just such a competitive competition in women's basketball here in Queensland now, and it's been an amazing journey, especially from us doing the live stream over the last 2 years. So I can't wait to see what 28 brings next year when everything wraps up here. So again, from everyone here at Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia, and on behalf of Basketball Queensland, we really do appreciate you giving us your support throughout the season. A massive congratulations to the Brisbane Spartans, your 2017 QBL Women's Grand Finalists. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for the men's Game 3 Grand Final. That's it from us here tonight. A massive thank you to Jacob on the camera, Joel Baker on the production panel, Dan George, as always, throughout the season. I've been Regan Baker. Good night.